So before we wrap all of this up, Dr. Scantleberry White, I mean, we're talking about awareness, and awareness means education. And if we're going to talk awareness, we need to have all the facts about this. And sometimes it seems like we don't.
Absolutely. The fact is, one donor can save 8 people's lives through solid organ donation. And if you're a tissue donor, up to 75 people can really be helped through tissue donation. So we really need everyone to sign their organ donor card. Go to registerme.org or core.org and sign up to be an organ donor. Organ donation saves lives. Don't make a decision about whether or not you're in good health or not. Understand that doctors are here to save your life first. And once you can no longer be alive, then they would approach about organ donation. So they're not here to make you a donor before your time, and all religions that support organ donation. So I think that's important to know. And what better gift that you can pass your legacy on by donating organs. You know, once we're gone, your organs live on in someone else. So I think that's the greatest gift that we can give to others.
And sometimes we think that we can have a traditional funeral or...
Right. You can have an open casket funeral. There's no damage. There's no distortion of the face, so that's all preserved. And donors don't pay for any of the costs as it relates to organ donation. So that's important to know. And really talk to your family about it, because it's important that others know your decision in case you haven't signed your organ donor card or check that box when you go to the DMV to agree to organ donation. Let others know, spread the word, consider organ donation amongst yourself and your family members.
Indeed. And Marisol, I'm guessing that those are all things that went through your mind as you were making this decision.
I didn't think about the casket or none of that. I just did a regular, beautiful funeral, and it was open. So many people came. Everybody got to see her. You know, it was just a normal funeral, and I made it happy. And just because she didn't have some of those organs doesn't mean I'm just gonna like cover her up. You know, she just looked beautiful as she made it to heaven. So, and she was beautiful. But you have to be, you can't, I just think some people are very selfish. You have to be like thinking about in that moment that when you're donating, you can't think about you can't think about that. You got to think about also giving. Unfortunately, it happened to me where I lost my daughter in a car accident, and I would not want anybody to go through what I went through, losing a child. My mom and dad is still alive. And, and then just giving that organ to me was like, to me it's so rewarding today that I know her heart is still beating, and I feel good about it now. I don't feel bad. It felt kind of weird at the beginning, but now with so many years have passed, I feel proud of my daughter that she was able to save some people's life. So that's what keeps me going strong. And I'm so happy that I'm talking about it to you guys.
We're happy you are too. And real quick before we go to Bill, would you like to one day, you donated 5 of her organs, would you like to one day connect or meet those 5 people, do you think? Would that be a good thing for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially the heart. That would be the main one that I would love to meet. A boy, yeah. It's the same age as my daughter.
Okay. And Bill, is that something that you thought about, to connect or meet with the donor family for you?
Absolutely. I've accepted that responsibility of doing that. I was given the gift of life, and part of my responsibility is to carry that tradition on by being a poster boy for the program, particularly for communities of color that often suffer from lack of information, fear, etc. And I want to represent those communities to say organ transplantation is for everyone, not just people who have a white complexion. Hispanic people and people of color need to be a part of this program, and there are physicians who are anxious to help. And my job is to convince people that it is a life-saving process and we should be all a part of it enthusiastically.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, and it's happening in our backyard. I mean,
Yes.
Canterbury White, you trained right here
Yes.
in Pittsburgh.
There are 5,000 people on the list in Pennsylvania awaiting organ donation, organ transplantation. And the majority of the list, while we make up 13% of the population, we are a third of the list as African Americans awaiting organs, especially kidney transplantation. And now the majority of the list, over 60% of those awaiting organs are people of color, Hispanics, Asians, African Americans, and Native Americans. So we are certainly in need of more people agreeing to organ donation because the supply is just not as great as the demand. And so there's a great demand and we need more organ donors.
Before we go, we have like 30 seconds. Does it make for a better acceptance? I mean, do organs transfer better when they go from an African American to an African American? Is it a better match?
You know, we have so many new drugs on board that we transplant many more patients who don't match than those that match. On the inside, we're all the same as far as green, blue, we're all look the same on the inside. Certainly, we want more minorities to donate because we are in greatest need and we need to add more donors to the pool. Certainly, if you have a genetic match that is within your ethnicity, it certainly is better for you. But unfortunately, the majority of donors are not going to be of your ethnicity as far as a person of color. And I don't focus on whether this donor is male, female, you know, black or white. I focus on how good the organ is and is it going to fit.
Indeed. Thank you all so much for sharing your stories. They were amazing indeed. And hopefully you motivated someone to get involved.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate you. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Great honor to meet you.
Indeed. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll come back and make sure you got that phone number where you can get more information. So don't go away when the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show continues. We'll be right back.